Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Believe in Bengals podcast. Solomon Wilcots and my man, Adam Pac-Man Jones, could not be here with me today, but instead I brought someone who holding it down at the same position. That is Chidobe Awuzie in his first year with the Cincinnati Bengals, spent 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys. And man, he brought a special brand of ball to the Cincinnati Bengals this year. Chidobe, welcome to the show, man. How you doing today?
Doing real good. Feeling good on this Victory Monday and chilling with my main man Solomon. So everything's all good.
Hey man, it's been my pleasure to kind of have you come on, because from one Colorado Buffalo to another, right?
Yes, sir.
We still got to get our program right, but you represent the program well. You represent the Cincinnati Bengals well. And before we get started, I want everybody to know that today's show is presented by Bet Online. They're back and they're better than ever. It's a new web interface to to make sure that the NBA and NHL and boxing and UFC, all your betting that you want to get done, you can do it by going to Bet Online. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to bet on your favorite sport. Now that we got all that out the way, I just wanted to kind of help the people to understand, because all the rage around the Cincinnati Bengals, part of the narrative is these free agents who signed to come here during the offseason, guys like yourself, Trey Hendrickson, and some of the other guys on the defensive line. Talk to me just about what was it about the Cincinnati Bengals that had you say, you know what, I want to take my act to Cincinnati. I believe it's a team that could turn it around, a team that could start to win, because I don't know that there was anything prior to you coming here this year that would have pointed you in that direction.
Yeah. It started obviously with free agency. As soon as it opened, Cincinnati was the first team to call me and talk to me. And, they got a lot of people involved. And I'm not going to lie, when I first heard it, I was like, let's wait a little bit. Let's see what's going on around the league.
Yeah.
But, the more I started, did my research and, studied the team, I think Trey Hendrickson or Mike, one of them had already signed or committed to signing or something like that. I was like, maybe something's, brewing up special. And then, came out there, with the intention to sign and everything. And I got a chance to meet Larry Ogunjobi, Trey Hendrickson, and Mike Hilton. We were all on the same signing trip. And also Riley Reef. And, I just remember driving in the car and we're just talking about, the team that we were about to be a part of and the pieces that they had and how we can turn this thing around, how close they are. And I think we're starting to see, just a product of men who come together with a common mission, what you can accomplish. A lot of people who go places, sometimes it's, money reasons. Obviously, that's always involved in our game. But, also it's people want respect. Players want respect around this league, and I feel like that's one of the main things that I got from the guys that we signed is a lot of people want their respect, and obviously buying into it, being in the locker room with the guys, all that plays a factor, and I think we're doing a great job of that.
Oh man, you guys are doing a great job because Trey has picked up really well. Larry Ogunjobi, I knew he was a dude, man. I used to watch him play up in Cleveland. I was like, man, this cat can bring it. And he made an immediate impact. So did you, so did Mike Hilton. It seemed like every single one of you guys just made an immediate impact. And that's what it's about, winning. But I know how players are, Chidobe, and you can kind of help me with this. Whenever you look at who the quarterback is, right?
Yeah.
And you making your choice, who is that guy? Because if they don't have that guy, you ain't coming. So how did just the fact that Joe Burrow was the guy, even coming off a knee injury into his second year, how did he play a role in your decision to say, well, at least I don't have to worry about the quarterback thing, that's taken care of?
Yeah, that's the bare minimum, I think. When people really trying to win, you got to have a quarterback. That's the first thing you look at. And that's the first thing I looked at as well was Joe, his ability to play. Obviously, him being hurt and, coming back from that, how he did is amazing. So kudos to him for that. But, as a player who didn't know him, as soon as I signed, he was one of the first people who called me and, just reached out to me talking about how, I can impact this team, how I can, help this team, what they're all about and everything. And, when I came to OTAs and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sitting next to him, my locker was actually right next to his. and Tyler Boyd at the time. And I just got real close with them, talking to them about football, really seeing what they're about, competing with them every day. And you're starting to see the fruits of his labor, just a hard worker, young guy who has, his whole career ahead of him. And, he's been a great leader for us. So for us, free agent signings, that was definitely, the pinnacle, of our decision.
Well, I could tell you, man, for a lot of us old heads who used to play with the Bengals, who used to dominate the Pittsburgh Steelers back when we played, you've already heard the line that the last time the Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 3 consecutive times, you have to go back 31 years ago. And I'm proud to say I was part of that. I'm not so proud that it happened so long ago, man. I was on those teams in 88 when we went to the Super Bowl, 89 and 90 when we won 6 in a row against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, in Sunday's game, you guys, you brought it, man, 41-10. You get the win. You're beating them 3 times in a row now. You've been part of 2 consecutive wins against the Steelers. Kind of take me in. Help me to understand the mindset of this team as you guys are getting ready to play them for a second time. And I know usually most people are kind of intimidated by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you guys didn't seem intimidated at all.
Yeah, I think one thing about this team, man, is that, these guys, we rise to the occasion. One thing that I've noticed, everybody always says, every week's a big week, every next week's the biggest game. Yeah. But one thing I noticed is that when these Steelers, Browns, Ravens come on that schedule, it get there for sure. Yeah, it get there for sure. And that's one thing that I can say about our team is that, you put a more challenging opponent in front of us, or, historically has beaten us, or you give us something to hang on. We're gonna take that and run with it, and really prepare for battle, for war. And I think we've seen that yesterday.
I played most of my career in what is the AFC North. Played Cincinnati, played in Pittsburgh, but I spent 1 season with the Minnesota Vikings. And hey, listen, the Bears, those were the Mike Singletary Bears, and the Detroit Lions, those were the Barry Sanders Lions. So they were a pretty good Lions group. Yeah. The Green Bay Packers were just now coming into their own. Brett Favre was a year before he had ascended to become the starter, but they had a Sterling Sharp, had some really good players. But I always told people, this AFC North, man, different brand of ball, bruh. Everybody play outside. They play in the wicked cold. And it's just it's a more physical thing. You played 4 years in Dallas in the NFC East, and those are some really good teams there. There's no doubt. Just got to help people understand what this AFC North ball is about. There's a lot of anger in these games, man.
Yeah. One thing that I've experienced so far in these AFC North games is the chippiness, definitely. Even, when I was in Dallas, we played teams like the Eagles, the Redskins, Giants. It was always, a little bit chippy, but it was never to that level of like hate. I could tell that AFC North teams hate each other.
They do, bro.
and it brings something out of me. I'm not gonna lie. People talking to me how I ain't never had no one talk to me like that ever in my life. Like, damn, I gotta, what I'm saying? I'm saying things that I don't usually, but I'm turned up. And I think that's how you get the best brand of football is, it's war, so you have to really go out there ready to dominate the person across for you and have ill will towards him. And that's just how this AFC North ball is. It's physical, fast, ground and pound, and they all have these explosive playmakers on the outside. So, got to come ready to play.
Hey, man, I got to say this. Not only are you guys winning in a way where, you're dominating. And you dominated a team, Pittsburgh Steelers team. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback over there, future Hall of Famer in Ben Roethlisberger. They got dudes like T.J. Watt and Casey Hayward. That's been a part of a lot of winning, played in a lot of big games in this league. What was the mindset going into Sunday's game? And it seemed like once you guys got them down, man, you weren't letting up. And you guys were having fun while doing it.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Preparing during the week, they're getting this Deontay Johnson back. They're getting TJ Watt back. We're like, okay. It's kind of like a, calm before the storm. You know what I'm saying? We get to Saturday, our safety, Michael Thomas, veteran, 10 years in the league, great player, gave us a speech. And, that speech really started to get the heart boiling a little bit. You kind of feel it in the room that, this confidence that we're brewing up. And then, game day, You know, I walk in, I'm looking at everybody. Everybody's kind of, you know, chill. It's cold. It's a cold day. Yeah. I'm noticing not many people warming up as much or like as long, but, you know, it's still calm. But then when we got to that pregame warm-up, and I'm looking around at everybody, and I'm feeling the juice. It was like crazy. I was like, wow, like we are ready. You know what I'm saying? Like this team that we're about to play don't know, but we know. and I feel it. And as soon as we stepped out there and the offense, you know, got off to that hot start, and then we got our 3 and out. It was just like it was over from the first drive. Really, like that was all we needed, was just anything to hang on, that we was going to show them who they are and show us who we are. And it was. I think that's something that we need to do every week.
That's right. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it was. Listen, I appreciate you because you brought this physical presence to the secondary, to the corner position, because I think the safeties were already they were there. And then Mike Hilton brought he's got that versatility to his game that was lacking. You brought this physical mentality that you'll cover anybody any day and ain't nobody gonna beat you. And you making your plays out there, in so much that it's gotten into Eli Apple, man. His game has come up, and I'm seeing that confidence sort of breed into him, right? He's a former first-round pick out of Ohio State, and he had never quite did that when he was with the Giants. He had never quite did that when he was with the Saints. This dude done had back-to-back weeks of making picks. And this week, man, I got to tell you, when he made that pick against Ben, that got it going on defense, man. It just seemed like something just clicked from there. Then Mike Hilton had the pick 6. It was game over after that. So just talk about this secondary and talk about what you see developing in Eli Apple, because I think with him is sort of a testament to what the whole group is now becoming, something bigger than maybe what a lot of people thought you guys were.
Yeah, first I got to give credit to our guys just in preparation, for certain plays. We're talking about it all week. Okay, this play we might be able to jump. Okay, we're expecting this. That the play he picked off is a play that we practice a lot. And he had the perfect technique for it. And credit to our DB coaches. I ain't gonna lie, there's not that many places you can go in the NFL and it feels free. You have the freedom to speak. You have the freedom to talk about techniques. There's not that much ego. This place is a great place for players to come and you really bounce your ideas off of one another. Like, we're all smart football players. We all love ball. We're all talking techniques all the time. And, Eli, Mike, me, Jesse, Vaughn, everybody in that secondary, we constantly talking about stuff. And I think that's that type of confidence of just knowing that, like, you could say anything to your brother. You could ask anything to your brother. If you see a concept on film and you want to talk to Jesse, like, Jesse, I ain't gonna lie, this player, if this guy do this and they line up like this, I'm gonna try to go get that thing. You got me? Jesse's like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Or you tell Vaughn, you tell Vaughn, like, okay, Vaun, like, hey man, I got loose third. I got loose third this drop. You might need to get under this curl so that you could pick that. You know what I'm saying? We're talking like that, and it's constant. And I think that type of confidence that this is our group, like, this isn't like, oh, this guy's shuffling in and out, or no, this is our group. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can really take ownership of this. And I think that's what we're doing. And, Mike and Eli set it off for us this past game. And I think it's been someone new every week, and we just gonna keep, building off of this. So it's a beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful thing, man. It speaks volume to the coaches. I know Lou Anarumo, really good defensive coach. The coaches that turn the team over to the players. Now, you got to have a right group that you can turn it over to, right? Because they can't go leading them astray. But when you have a group that you can turn it over to where they lead the team, man, I'm going to tell you, the sky's the limit. There's no doubt about it. I remember we were in a game with Dick LeBeau. I remember I ain't going to name the quarterback, but he was a smart cat. And but he wasn't as talented. And I remember, man, we back there trying to disguise getting caught out of position. He was hitting us. And I'm sure you've been part of those games. Man, I remember we called a timeout. I came over there and said, Coach, man, why are we trying to disguise against this dude? He ain't good enough to beat us. Let's just line up and play. And I was adamant. I didn't even say it nicely. I just, you know what? He said, do it then. Do it. He didn't flinch. He just let us do it. And man, we won that game going away. That's that's how games are won in this league. Am I right?
Facts. I mean, at the end of the day, the players play, you know.
That's right.
Coach Jackson, our corners coach, always says, you know, we draw up all these X's and O's, but we can't get the iPad and throw it out there and play for you. Like the book can't play for you.
That's right.
The players got to play. Because it looks
right.
good when you draw certain coverage up. This guy gonna disguise. He gonna think it's this, and this X gonna go like people running now. People trying to hit you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, like
that's right.
You said it perfect. Like at the end of the day, if the players, if we see something and you know we think that we can help the team, you know, especially with our group, 5-6 years, 10-year veterans, everybody's been in this league for a minute, seen a lot of different looks. You know, our coaches are great at, you know, receiving and then giving us, you know, different ways to play. Or we ask them, you know, does this work? Does this fit in the scheme, the game plan? And it all goes hand in hand.
Hey, listen, I could tell you this, man. You guys just have this great balance of players, offensively, defensively, great pass rush on the front end. You guys are covering on the back end. I look at the way Joe Mixon was used in the game, career high 165 yards rushing against the Steelers. But he gets to run against a loaded box because he's got Jamar Chase. He's got T. Higgins. He's got a Tyler Boyd spreading the defense thin, and he gets to hit the loaded box. If you stack the box against him, they're going to crease you. So help me to understand, what is it like working in practice against a Joe Burrow and a Joe Mixon, a Tyler Boyd, who I think is one of the best slot corners in the league, and then Higgins and Jamar Chase on the outside. What is it like going up against those guys in practice? Tell me what kind of competitive banter you guys might have.
Yeah, man, it got real competitive, especially during camp. I'll say camp really set the tone for our season. You know, coming from the Cowboys, you know, competition was always, you know, at a premium. Mm-hmm. And they try to force, you know, the competition with one-on-ones, you know, 7-on-7, 2-minute drills, all that type of stuff. We do the same thing here. But for some reason, the Cincinnati Bengals, it's like you could feel like the pressure of the other person against you, if that makes any sense. It's like this person, like they really don't want you to like make a play, and we really don't want them to catch the ball. Right. And it's like really like to that level of like just go out there and play. Like it's not don't protect each other. Obviously now in the season it's different.
Sure.
But in camp, in camp it was every day. Every day I gotta have it, and I think that really set the tone for the season. And I was talking to Jamar yesterday actually after the game, and he's talking about like, yeah, bro, like practice. This like this still ain't harder than practice. Like practice, you know, going against each other. Like we, you know what I'm saying, push, I'm like, yeah, man, you ain't lying. Like, because we went there, you know what I'm saying? I think it was very necessary for us too. And that's helped a lot.
Yeah, it's real cool when the practices are harder than the game. You make game day easy when you go at it like that. A couple of more questions before we let you go. Let's look ahead to the upcoming week. You guys just finished off the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now you got a couple of home games coming in. You got the Chargers coming in. And you know, all week, everybody's talking about Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. Who's the better guy? I'm a Joe Burrow guy through and through, always have been. But, hey, you're getting to take on this rookie quarterback who in his own right is starting to make a name for himself in this league. What are the expectations when you're going up against a guy like Justin Herbert? What do you expect and what do you anticipate?
Yeah, I mean, you know, these young quarterbacks, you know, you can kind of see the league turning over to the, you know, guys who played under 4 years. And he's one of those guys that's leading the charge along with our quarterback. So Justin Herbert, all the weapons that he has, you know, the ability to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage, and also the dual threat. You know, I think he had 350 yards for 300 yards passing and then like 90 yards rushing for to do that.
Oh, yeah, he did that.
You know, he has that dual threat capability, and, you know, the weapons on the outside also present a challenge. So I feel like it's been every week we've been having the same conversation of like, oh, they have this guy, they have that guy, they have this guy. It's just the NFL at this point, you know what I'm saying? This is what we sign up for, these big-time challenges against these big-time players. So, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a battle. We're expecting a battle.
Man, how do you handle someone like Austin Eckler? You know, these guys are running you off. You're in man-to-man coverage. You got your back turned to the run game. Next thing you know, you turn around. Here come this little dude, and he's shaking and baking, and he's kind of made a name for himself, making people miss in this league.
Yeah, I think Coach Lou and Arumo have done a great job of, you know, getting us a game plan that's been very specific to the team we're going to face. Yeah. So our game plan hasn't been uploaded to us yet, But when we walk in tomorrow, I know it's going to be a great plan, you know, to handle all their weapons. Yeah. I know we're going to have an answer for all their weapons. They got a lot. So, that's all on Coach Lou right now.
Hey, I just want everybody to know you and I, we share a lot in common. We both from the great state of California.
Know that.
We made the wise choice of all the schools we could have went to, we chose Boulder, Colorado, one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they make you go to class, by the way. Right? They make you go to class, and you get to grow. You get to meet a lot of great people that you maybe wouldn't meet growing up in your natural environment. So I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I welcome you. Anything you need in Cincinnati, man, you know you're just a phone call away, because we got you back, okay?
All love, brother. Appreciate that a lot.
All right, everyone. Chidobe Awuzie, a real talented dude, man, making a name for himself for the Cincinnati Bengals defense, taking us where we once have been before and beyond. That's right. Chidobe Awuzie, Solomon Wilcots on the Believe in Bengal podcast. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Holla back. We'll catch you later.